What is going on, Schmoedown universe? Welcome back to A Certain Point of View. We are back after our first major pay-per-view of the young season that is 2022, Season 9, and we have a load to talk about tonight. Hope everyone is doing great out there. We understand that it is Oscars night. We are pretty positive that most of you will be watching the Oscars while this is going on, but that is okay. We're here to break down some Schmoedown, hang out, and talk about everything that was that pay-per-view from Friday night. Jill, sorry you missed it last week. Reunite Deception probably not happening anytime soon.
I'm making the hashtag happen. Hashtag reunite deception.
I'm sure a lot of people will be on board.
I'm gonna have this plastered somewhere in my streaming wall until it happens. It will be there until my precious babies are back again.
There you go. Christopher is already with you. Christopher is already
Thank you,
with
Christopher. So there we go.
Outside of that, Jill, how has your weekend been? How are you doing? Hanging in there?
I've been so busy. The month of March has just been like ridiculous for me. So we did Jack-ish this weekend and it was lovely. Did absolutely nothing. I cleaned my room today, which was past due. So like I actually like vacuumed my floor. So that was great. I feel like an adult because that needed to happen. Yeah, it was a do nothing weekend, and I recommend that everyone does those once in a while because they're solid, pretty great. Can't complain.
And Brian,
Joe, those are like always my weekends.
Oh, not me. That's not. And I was like, oh, my April is gonna slow down. My April's not slowing down at all. So.
Oh, great for us.
No, my weekends, at least. My weekdays are pretty solid. My weekends are not.
Yeah, I didn't do anything this weekend, really. Wait. Yeah, no, I didn't do anything. The weather is so nice in Sacramento. It's like the last cold, like not foggy, like muggy day where you just have.
It's not muggy whatsoever. It's overcast.
Okay, fine, whatever you want to call it.
Those are two completely different things.
Whatever, but it's like gray sky where it looks like it's going to rain, but it's not. And it's probably the last one we're going to get until like
it's supposed to rain
November. I'm saying though, this probably isn't going to happen again until like November, because it's going to start getting to like 110 in Sacramento. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we have like 3 months until 110. It's only March, and we have April. So,
I mean, the way things are going up here, it's like the devil's frying pan sometimes up here.
I mean, we say that every year. So,
and it gets hotter every year. So I am enjoying the day with the windows open.
Thanks, global warming.
Yeah.
Facts. And Molly, how about you? How was your weekend?
It was pretty good. Yesterday we got out and we took Hilo to a brewery, which was really fun. Weather's pretty nice here. Today we've just been doing stuff around the house. I'm still trying to recover from this pinched nerve in my neck, and I'm real sick of it. I gotta say, it's not my thing. So
it's no bueno.
I might have to actually go to a chiropractor this week, which I am not looking forward to doing.
No.
I've never been to one.
They freak me out. Like,
I don't mind going. I never get them to do neck stuff to me when I have gone in the past. And that's literally the only thing that's bothering me. So yeah.
Freaks me out.
I got one of those little massage guns things.
Oh, those are the best!
I have seriously, since I started working out, debating getting one.
They're the best.
Are they worth it?
I think so. I've only used it the one time, so we'll see how I feel tomorrow. But I think it's pretty cool.
They're the best. 10 out of 10 would recommend. I don't even work out, and 10 out of 10 would recommend. I get bad leg cramps, so
they work very well.
Yeah, yes. Do it. 10 out of 10.
Interesting. Next, impulse buy.
God, I have a list of those.
On the topic of weather, a couple people in the chat here. Buck Don't complain out the heat to me. I live on the surface of the sun during the summer. He is from Arizona, so
Oh yeah, no.
fair. And Gordon, it's snowing at 19 degrees here in Pennsylvania. So there
Wow.
you
That
go.
sounds
Wow.
nice, actually.
Yeah.
Wow, that does sound
Sounds
nice.
lovely. Sounds lovely.
Sounds nice.
Yes. Okay. So look, we have a lot to get to tonight. We'll say up top for anybody who has not seen the pay-per-view, there will be full spoilers for everything that was Friday night. This is your warning. Okay. We'll make sure to say it a little bit before we kind of talk about it as well. We're going to be getting into the Marisol and Samm match. We're going to be getting into Bibbs and Chance as well, talking about the cutscene, a little bit of title match discussion because of how well received this title match has been throughout the community. But first, I did want to bring up that we do have 2 Streamlabs that have been waiting for us since Friday night's happy hour. They came in a little late, and we want to make sure we get to them. So we're going to start the show off with those. And they're general questions, which works out perfectly. They're not set just for Clark or Rachel. And if you have not seen Happy Hour, by the way, guys, go watch Happy Hour. It's great. It's probably one of the best we've done. Clark and Rachel are an absolute treat. And it was such a pleasure to have them on. But
So cool to talk to them.
Yeah.
it was very surreal. Very, very surreal.
We're not worthy.
Yeah. All right. So the first one here comes from Therrell, and his question was: it was Elton John's 75th birthday.
Oh, good
What
for him.
is your favorite song by Elton? My favorite song was Crocodile Rock on The Muppet Show.
Doing the
Ooh.
rock.
I mean, Tiny Dancer's a good one.
Tiny Dancer holds a special place in my heart for sure. Some of my
Rocket Man is
Rocket
always a
Man.
class. Can you feel the love tonight?
The El Dorado soundtrack is a bop. A 10 out of 10 would recommend the Road to El
Not
Dorado
surprised
soundtrack.
by that answer whatsoever.
You shouldn't be. Yeah, but mine's probably Tiny Dancer holds a really special place in my heart, so it's probably Tiny Dancer.
Did Jake already say, "Can you feel the love tonight"?
He did.
Yeah, I said Rocket Man.
Are you Googling Elton John songs?
I was just trying to figure out like which one I like the best because there are a lot. So I'm just like, I'm looking
Christopher,
through
Benny
the
and the
full
Jets.
list.
Yeah,
Benny and the
great.
Jets is great.
Benny and the Jets
Favorite
is
song
Benny
by
and
the Jets.
Leo is, I guess
that's
that's why
what
they call it the blues.
Saturday Night's All Right. That's another
And
great
Gordon,
one.
Saturday Night's All Right for fighting.
Saturday.
Elton John
Did you
just got a
guys-
bunch of classics. That's all.
Did you guys
Yeah.
see that the movie, the
Rocket
musical?
Man?
Yes.
It's so good.
Yeah,
was
I
really
own
good.
it. It's great.
I liked it over Bohemian Rhapsody.
I did
They came out
too.
the same year. They came out the same year.
I was
Yeah.
so mad when Taron wasn't nominated for Best Actor.
He
'cause
should.
should've been.
Yeah, it was a crime. It was.
I like "Don't Go Breaking My Heart." Don't go breaking my heart.
Oh. Now I want to listen to Elton John.
Okay, so next question, and we can go over this quickly. This isn't something that we can really dive into, but Daniel here says, what are your thoughts on Barry Keoghan's take on the Joker? I didn't like the scene from the movie, but the deleted scene got me 100% hooked. I agree the Joker is being overused, but Barry looks like he's bringing a different take.
Is that the deleted scene that everyone was talking
The
about?
Batman deleted scene, yeah.
I haven't seen the Batman. Like, I haven't seen the Batman yet, so I don't even know if I can really even comment on it.
That's fair.
So
That's fair.
I saw it. I didn't watch the deleted scene though, because I was just like, I don't care.
Well, Brian, what do we think?
I'm listening to "Don't Go Breaking My Heart" in the background right now. I'm personally just kind of over the Joker. Like, Batman has easily some of the best bad guys, and he's got so many. We don't need to revisit the Joker every time.
Yeah. It's been done so well in the past. Like,
Yeah.
we don't need more
I'm sure-
versions of it.
I'm sure his iteration will be great. I just don't want to see the same people.
you have the entire rogues gallery. Like, Batman has some of the best comic book villains of all comic book heroes.
Yeah,
and
I would say it's between him and Spider-Man, and like, there's just so many that he's just unnecessary for me.
So I don't think he'll be the villain of the sequel, but just as far as the question goes, I don't mind the take because it's different. It's a very different, and everyone is the description of him is the Englishman version of the Joker. is what they're describing him as. And once you see him in kind of like what he looks like, that's
He's so disgusting looking.
Yeah, it's like his hands and like it's definitely the most violently looking Joker we've seen yet.
Love it.
He's like mutilated. Like
it's very grunge. And once you watch the Batman, you'll understand like, oh, that fits inside that world.
The Joker gets his butt whipped on many occasions, so he shouldn't really be looking as pristine as he does.
This is like actually what you would look like if you fell into a vat of acid.
Okay, I did.
Yeah, yeah, and that, I think Brian, you said the mutilated version. That's a great word of describing.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
Yeah, 100%.
Like you're looking at it like, oh.
Harrison is 100% right here. Justice for Condiment King. I feel you, Harrison.
Kite Man.
We need Condiment. We need Calendar Man. We need Kite Man. Bring us all the Batman villains.
Gordon posts in the chat. Why can't we get Clayface? Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga.
He is one of the best parts of the animated.
I love.
He is.
I need to see Eraserhead. Eraser Man.
Mm-hmm.
He's literally just a pencil with a head. That's an eraser.
I don't know if that's what they'll make him, but we'll see.
And he just goes running around erasing people.
Yeah. We'll see. As Brian Ward says here, King Tut or Egghead.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, where is my Harley Quinn show? Like that.
They're making it's happening. It is happening.
And they're making your Kite Man show, Brian.
Yeah.
I know. But that show is so perfect. If you like Batman and just ridiculous.
You don't even have to like Batman.
No, but I meant like if you like Batman and like the ridiculous takes.
I so badly want me and Alex to do Poison Ivy and Kite Man.
Oh my god, do it.
I will pay to see Alex as Kite Man.
Oh my god, please.
Because he loves Kite Man.
He's the best.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
So good.
God.
And their relationship is adorable.
It's so cute. Until Harley was like, nah, that's
and then
my
Jill
girl.
can be Harley Quinn.
I'm gonna steal Molly. I'm stealing Molly from Kite Man.
And then Jake can
maybe
be
we'll
Batman.
do that for
Gabby can
Dragon
be
Con.
Catwoman.
Do it.
Although I also really want to do Sailor Moon Knight.
Ooh.
Sailor Moon Knight.
Yeah, as one character, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be a Sailor Moon outfit, but it would be
a Sailor
all
Scout.
white.
Yeah,
all white with like wraps
and
and bandages and a hood.
Love
and
it.
So if Jake's Batman, she's Poison Ivy. This one's Harley Quinn. Do I dare ask which one I am?
King Shark, Brian.
King Shark.
Okay. I could deal with that one.
Okay, I don't want to stop the party, but we do have to get to Schmoedown. We do have to get to Schmoedown. We are here for
This isn't the Q&A?
No. Shameless plug, Brian. Shameless plug. Nice. Well, look, we had what kind of can be considered the first pay-per-view of the year. I know that we had the Smets pay-per-view, the Smets Don Depani pay-per-view from the beginning of the season. Kind of kicked off this year, but this was the first legit pay-per-view after the Friday Night Titans, reveal. It should have just been called Friday Night Lights. Like, why not just call it Friday Night Lights?
Because copyright, Jake.
But like so perfect. Anyway,
Friday Night White Boards.
Friday Night Whiteboards.
That is.
No, you have to have the white boards.
Anyway,
no.
As I mentioned up top, because there are freemium viewers, we have spoilers for the pay-per-view. Also, we did get a super chat that spoiled it all. So I wanted to make sure I said that before.
If you're
I read
watching this, you should have watched the pay-per-view anyway.
Yeah.
What are you even doing here?
The title pretty much.
Well, Gordon did say that he's here to watch us and he doesn't care about spoilers. So Gordon,
thanks,
you rock.
Gordon.
Thank you.
I'm still here. I'm just grabbing my water.
But Kyle Beckworth sent in a super chat here. Great title match, but also sucks seeing Marisol lose having a perfect game.
Yeah.
We are definitely going to be getting into that. That's going to be a hot topic because as you guys can see the poll in the YouTube chat, I asked you all what your favorite title match is, or maybe just from the three that I put up there. That conversation is going to come up after we talk about the match. So make sure you guys have those ready. But let's break this bad boy open. Look, this has been a match that everyone's been looking forward to for a while. After Samm won last week, obviously the stage was set. We had Marisol, who is the two-time defending champ, and Samm Levine, who is on an 8-game winning streak, When he left the game previously, he was a 2-belted champion,
Like
both teams
crossing
and
like
singles.
5 years, didn't they say?
It was 4 years.
Yeah.
2017,
4
I think,
years.
is when it was. Yeah. And so it was almost this really cool setup too of it being an old school versus new school thing, right? Marisol has only been in the league for about a year and a half. Sam's been around for a very long time. And everything collided into this absolutely incredible, beautiful showcase of movie trivia in the best way possible. Came down to the final question. Not a single question was missed.
God.
Not a single question was missed. And we're not obviously not
Insane.
including speed round stuff, but like nothing was missed. No second round stuff, no betting, no 5-rounders.
It's not just for Star Wars anymore.
No, apparently not.
Yeah, it simply came down to the fact that Sam had the lead after the speed round, and they all just answered their questions. That's all it came down to. And so, yeah, I mean, Jill, start us off here. Let's open this conversation up here. Sam walks away. He is officially a Schmoedown champion once again.
Mhm.
And we may have just witnessed one of the greatest title matches of all time.
I mean, I think I would have to go back and read the list, but for me, at least for sure for singles title matches, Marisol winning her original belt is definitely up there for me because especially because I was there when it happened. I was in the room when it happened, Hamilton fans. But this, from a pure fan standpoint, I think this is the best like singles match, championship match that we've seen in all 9 seasons.
So while you brought that up, I have some written down. I'll bring them up.
Yes, please.
I'll bring them up. So this is just kind of going through the list of kind of like all time. There's a lot more, obviously, but as far as singles go, we have Merle versus Roca when Roca beat Merle. We have Merle versus Bateman 2, which was the digital version of that match. We have Merle versus Collins 1, which was spectacular 2 years ago. Merle versus Irwin in New York, where he regained the belt. And then McKee and Levine. And then I also threw in Damon versus Demalanta for Star Wars, Shazam versus Corruption last year at Collision, and then Kalinowski and Chundru at the Cantina last year as well.
Chundru and Kalinowski is a really top one up there for me, solely for the character work. The character work in that one was just unmatched, and it was super good. But I think this is probably my number one, if not very closely fought, like my number 2 favorite championship match of all time. Like, I don't like it was. Yes, they all got their like. It was a perfect game by both parties, and like usually like, oh, I hate when there's a perfect game, but for this, it was like, oh my god, they're all perfect in a freaking singles tournament, like not tournament, singles championship match, and my mind was absolutely blown. You know me, I love me some character work, but I just loved the mutual respect that Marisol and Sam had for each other. I loved Shannon there. I loved Rachel there. It still blows my mind. Like, it hasn't fully processed the fact that both of them had a perfect game and still someone lost.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so, of course, y'all know me. I am very bummed that Marisol is no longer holding the belt. But after that match, it's like I can't be upset with any outcome that happened with that, just because it was so good. With Sam being gone for 4 years,
yeah,
and coming back and having 2 perfect games in a row to win the title, like, that's pure insanity.
Yeah, he hasn't missed a question yet.
He hasn't missed a question since he came back. He's been gone for 4 years and he hasn't missed a question yet. This is why he came back. Now we see why he's back. Yeah, so for me personally, I think this is my favorite championship match, singles wise, of all time for me.
Yeah, I mean it's up there. I like you said earlier, you'd have to go back and kind of look and really maybe even watch them again to kind of get like a feeling for it, because this one's so fresh. Obviously, it happened 2 days ago. You mentioned the mutual respect. I love that they weren't like fully just going after each other like some characters. And we talked about Mike and Chundru and how that was just sheer hate between the two of them as far as characters go. Yes. And while playing trivia, but you can just see that they both were so happy and proud to be playing each other, and that they were able to experience this first title match of this year in this new studio, Samm coming back, Marisol holding the belt, trying to go for that third time defense. It was a big deal. And I think, I don't know where someone mentioned it. It might've been the press conference that happened last week, but there were like all kinds of like history statistics going on in this match as well, as far as like questions answered and amount of wins. And like if Marisol won, she would have tied Samm Levine's 8-0 win streak that he won last week. But now Samm is 9-0. Like there were all kinds of things going back and forth with this match that didn't have to just do with Samm winning the belt. Like there were so many other things happening inside the match itself. But I think Chris brought it up, which I wanted to make sure I highlighted here. I had a feeling it was going to come down to the speed round or the buzzers, but Samm pulling out the Evan Almighty answer was unbelievable.
Nuts.
Having just answered,
and I was like, what did he say?
That was nuts.
Just going off of Morgan Freeman and then thinking, wait a second, that's not the only Morgan Freeman movie ever made. And he just throws out Evan Almighty. That could have been the match. Like that might have swayed the match one way or another. But Chris is right. Like the buzzers obviously is what it came down to. And once again, Samm shows why he is one of the best in buzzers. That guy's mind runs so quick.
It's crazy.
So quick.
Crazy.
Where are we going?
Yeah.
Someone.
Oh, I mean, it's hard to not say that's like the best match of all time, almost. Like, I mean, you had a match where no one missed in singles, any category, any movie ever, and no one missed. And that could have gone on forever. I feel like the way they were playing, like if there wasn't a speed round, like we would have had overtime of just like, I couldn't even imagine if it was a like 3-round match. It would have never ended. We'd probably still be here. It's just, they are just incredible. Absolutely incredible. And if Marisol's not on your GOAT list right now, like you're insane. I mean, she is just an absolute data vault of knowledge.
Yeah.
Like it's incredible. I mean, we know how Samm is. And to be honest, Samm looked nervous.
Yeah.
Like
he said he was nervous.
Yeah. But like I've seen some matches. Like he seems pretty confident. I mean, that is probably like the most vulnerable I feel like I've seen him play in a long time. As he should be, because she is just phenomenal. So, and it shows. That was incredible.
Yeah. I do think that this is definitely one of the most impressive singles matches that we've ever seen. I don't know that it's my favorite, and I've said this before, like perfect scoring games, I feel like the entertainment factor of them just isn't as high. And obviously these are two insanely talented players. But they're also two pretty like level-headed players. They're both kind of like on the same, frequency kind of, and it was missing some drama, I feel like. And it was kind of like, I've gotten used to drama in Schmoedown matches now after
count on Molly for saying, "Where's the drama? Where's the drama? I need.
Am I the drama?
I can't be the drama. Am I the villain?
Yeah." And I mean, the drama of this match was waiting to see if one of them was going to miss, and it just didn't happen. They made it look so easy. They were just like, they heard the question, they thought about it, and they were like, "Yeah, boom, here's the answer." And then I will say though that Evan Almighty question, Samm got so lucky, and he knows it. He knows it. You could see it in his face. Like, I can't believe I just got that on a quick guess. But yeah, and I loved what they said, about everything at the end. You could tell Sam was really excited that he won, but he did it, in a very graceful way. And Marisol was like, you know what? I couldn't have done better. That's
literally.
Literally, like,
literally.
she played a perfect game, so she has nothing to hang her head about. And I'm excited to see her come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, whoever she faces in a number 1 contender match should be absolutely terrified, because that's where she goes next. She does play in a 3-round match, excuse me. And as Chris says here, I would be scared to death to play Marisol in a 3-round environment because of how she's playing right now.
Yeah.
Like, it just.
Can you imagine just going from like, okay, yay, I can't wait to have my shot. Who do I got next? Oh shit, it's Marisol.
Do you want to know? Do you want to know something that literally just clicked into my head that I just realized right now? 2 of her only matches that she has had in her entire career, both of like her title matches, were in studio, which is the only studio matches that she's had.
Yep,
were both title matches. So like she like the lights will get you. That Marisol's like, nah. Bring the lights. Like,
well, actually, all of her title matches have been in studio, right? Cantina Spectacular, now this.
Cantina Spectacular, now this.
Yes, all 3.
All of her title matches have been in studio. All of her other matches have been digital, but her title matches have all been in a studio format, which is.
And she's crushed.
Crushed all of them.
Ridiculous.
This is why she's a queen. This is why she's already a legend in my book.
I think we may have missed him, but I did want to bring it up. Mr. Chuck, who has been MIA recently because of certain personal business going on in his end.
He met a lady.
He's got a lady friend. He got a lady friend. He says, "What's up, View Crew? Just dropping in to say hi and making sure the inmates aren't running the asylum without me." He says, "It was definitely a match of the year. Later, all. Have fun."
Bye. Have fun, Chuck.
Bye, Chuck.
Bye.
Bye, Chuck. Also, Jill, New York as well. Her New York match. Yeah, so that's 4. That's 4. So
crazy.
There you go. Thank you to Nathan and Brian for pointing that out in the chat. Okay, I have a couple comments that I've starred here that I want to bring up that can kind of continue this conversation. First one here is Kyle Becksworth. The questions were very fair. They were very good, very fair. My favorite question was when they asked about a Samm Levine movie and didn't include his name. That was the best.
I know. Yeah. It was like, I'm also in it too. Like,
yeah, that was the best, which was I Love You, Beth Cooper. And I completely forgot. When that happened, I had to Google. I was wait, I Love You, Beth Cooper, Samm Levine. I saw a picture. I was like, oh my god, he actually is in this movie. Brian, you would love that movie. It's stupid.
Really?
Oh yes, you would.
Who's the main person? Who's Beth Cooper?
Hayden Panettiere.
I'm not a huge fan of her.
Interesting.
Hot take.
Dang.
But yeah, so I thought the questions were incredible. I thought that they all fit their rounds. The betting question.
Yeah.
Interesting too about questions is, and I think but Christopher brought it up. She didn't put wild card on the wheel, so it was the first time this season that we saw all categories instead of wild card. Maybe it would have swayed, maybe it wouldn't have, but it seems to have worked out in their favor because no questions were missed.
Yeah.
So,
do we wish they were? On
No.
I mean, you need a shtick with these 2 players.
No.
This was
a very respectable wheel.
This is to me, it was very much a battle of wits, and you don't need any shtick because knowledge is going to be the true tell of this, not if you hit some chance card, if you will.
What did Marisol spin? I'm blanking.
Not Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford was the betting.
No.
Or not betting.
Sam went with Sam went with comedies.
Because she's
Jodie Foster.
Twice.
That was it.
Oh, it was Jodie
Foster.
Foster. Good call. Yeah, Jodie Foster. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, very wide categories for both of them. I don't know. I mean, I like the decision that the champion can decide whether it's on or not. I mean, if it's in a match, I don't think it would bother me.
And Marisol used her respin for the betting.
I like how that's
rule.
I like that new rule.
I do too. And she got the same one either way. So.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a great rule. I think it's one of the better rules that's been added. Definitely. It just makes sense. But yeah, I think that, Brian, you said it right, being that it's Marisol and Samm, it makes sense that you just put 12 slices on the wheel. You just go for it. You just let it be what it is, and you don't do the wild card spinner opponents. You just kind of let them answer questions, and this is the kind of match that you get. It just makes sense that way. Okay, so let's see. Nathan here added to our Samm Levine comment earlier. Longer than that, he has gotten 48 answers correct in a row, I believe.
Makes sense.
Jesus.
He said it was according to Frankie numbers, which Frankie I think has a Excel
That
spreadsheet.
is a lot.
Nerd.
That is a lot.
Insane.
And then Curtis here, whoever writes the question he misses deserves a bonus. Facts.
I mean,
Facts. And David, buzzer makes huge difference versus fast money. We've had this conversation before, but I've always been very pro buzzer.
Me too.
It just, I think, because look, if we had done fast money, there'd be a chance of them both getting 10 and not being like a versus competition. This is literally them playing each other for the buzzer. It just makes more sense.
You gotta have that make or break buzzer round because chances are if they're playing this well, they're both gonna get all of the speed round questions if it were done the other way.
Yep.
Yeah, I was when the speed round was first done, I was anti-buzzer, but looking at a match like this, it's like how would it have ended? Like
they also got new buzzers.
Yeah, it's just like you needed that type of take. And I mean, honestly, like, I mean, I know Samm has a history of the buzzer. Marisol ain't no slouch either. So, like, she could have easily taken that buzzer round. Like, it's anyone's game, which we could see because that was the literal only reason there was a decision in this match, because everything else was just leveled.
I think they're the two best of the buzzers in the game right now that we are currently seeing. And I think Brendan Meyer can maybe.
I was gonna say I like Brendan.
he's just so like glitchy.
That's true.
I would just to watch use the buzzer.
He has the spry young reflexes.
Yeah. Okay, so as far as Samm now having the title, we don't know when his next match is. It's possible it could be happening soon. We know that April's pay-per-view is for the free-for-all. But there is this conversation at the moment of who he could possibly face. Who Samm Levine could face. And I see like, Schmoedown Reddit and the Facebook page and everything.
You figured it out Reddit?
Kind of. I get emails about stuff, so I like kind of scroll through the emails. Anyway. But it seems like the names that people are kind of coming down to, and obviously whoever wins a number one contenders match, if it is against Marisol, Adam Collins, Dan Murrell, Ethan Irwin, and then obviously Marisol coming back into the fold because she does have that number one contender shot.
Or Bibbs.
Well, that's if Bibbs gets one, which we'll have a conversation about his match, because right now I don't know if he's in line for a number one contenders match, even though he was ranked 4th during that match. So he'll be shot up. But Ethan was ranked ahead of him. He beat Janine, so I don't know where that's headed. But I don't know. It's interesting. When do we see Samm play next? Is it right away? Is it after free for all? Is he going to be sitting on it for a second? Because we obviously have to have a number one contenders match first.
I mean, unless if Paul does cash in and he uses it on the singles belt.
That is true.
Which
I have a feeling
what's happening with that yet.
I have a feeling the title match might not be like a pay-per-view. It might just be like a thing, because if we're sticking to title matches for pay-per-view and you have free for all, that's a long time in between, and we know that singles and teams is pretty much the dominant. What do you call them? Divisions right now.
And Jill's right. Paul has to use that before the next free for all.
Yeah,
he has to use it within the next month. So it would seem likely that maybe Paul does challenge if he uses it for singles.
After watching that match, I'd be shaking in my boots if I wanted to use it for a single
And
match.
look, we know that he possibly has a new teammate, and maybe they're like, "Oh, we're going to challenge Shazam for the belts." Like, what if he and Adam Collins
Probably
are like,
not
we're going to
because
cash in
of
here.
the cutscene before.
With how they're gonna apparently face corruption.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe though. I mean, you never know.
It could be. I mean, it's for all my wrestling fans. It's his money in the bank. He can do whatever the heck he wants with it. Like, that's the rule of the game.
What are the chances it's added on top of the free throw?
It very well could be. Like, are you having drag races outside your house, Brian?
Yes. Not the kind that we like.
Yes.
Actual motorcycles.
Darn. RuPaul's not back there rating RuPaul's not back there rating the queens. Man, bummer.
What if Paul just wins another free for all and then he'll have
Could
just
you
another one in the
That'd be
bank?
awesome. Okay, question. I know who was it? Harrison and Christopher both asked, "What if Sam shows up in the free for all? Can the champion is the champion allowed in it?"
Yeah, Dan
Who
was
was
in it.
champion? Was it Dan last year?
Dan was in it.
Anybody
I couldn't
can
remember
play.
who it was.
No, Ethan?
No,
Dan?
Ethan didn't have the belt at that point.
Who had the belt?
Merle
free?
Dan had, I believe Dan beat Collins in February right? And he beat Collins in February or March, one of them. Then he had the belt in April, I believe. God, it seems like so long ago.
I know.
But yeah, no, Sam can play, and if he wins, he'll have the belt, and then he'll have a free for all advantage to challenge whoever he wants when he wants.
Like if you
ever loses it,
you should be the player number one because of that. If you get
it's randomized. Though, so.
I know, but I'm just saying in general. Like,
could you imagine if Sam was the last pick and he had the belt?
That's what I mean. Like if he's even in that top or last 10,
ridiculous.
It's like, crap. Why'd we show up?
Ridiculous.
So I don't know. I'm very curious to see who's in it. I feel like
me too. Especially with how many people he had on the roster last season. I'm very excited to see who's in it.
It's not allowed. Like no one's allowed to participate digitally, right?
I think it's
everyone
all
in person, but they're going back to the old school rules where you don't even have to be competing in the Schmoedown to be taking place in it. It's anyone can show up. Anyone.
I want Mark Ellis in the free for all.
It's possible.
Oh, really?
We've seen that in the past where, you obviously have to be in the space, and if you've played a match maybe in the past or something, but we had, I believe it was Breanne Chandler a couple years ago. She hadn't really been competing, and she showed up in the free for all in the last round, and she won.
So it's just basically anyone that lives in proximity to LA.
Or is in the or
who
comes
in the area.
Who comes and travels. Maybe they're there for another match and they film the free for all that day, or Christians put it out like, hey, this is the day for the free for all. If you want to take place, make sure you're in town. And there you go. Because that's usually what happened in the past, is they would kind of set up and plan it, because it's obviously always in April.
So I feel like also like Alex had fun doing it last year. He'd probably do it again if
I loved Alex in it last year, because you're like, what number is he? He could win. He
was like a really late number. He might have been the last number. He might have been number 40. I can't remember.
I think no, it wasn't.
Second to last.
So Flirtenflaus was last.
Yeah,
right.
he was like 39. Yeah.
Thank God he didn't win. Oh my God, Jesus. Yeah, see, like Brian Nussbaum says here, Ken competed in the free for all while he commentated.
I want Mark Ellis in the free for all.
Nice.
That's what it's like. It's like the first comparison I can think of in my head is Schmoedown is current Star Wars canon, and the free for all is Legends. Like it's just out. It's just you can just do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Like, that's what makes it so fun. That's why it's my favorite event.
It's like the what they do with wrestling with the can't think of the name now, but like they'll bring back wrestlers that like haven't wrestled in 20 years, and they Royal Rumble, and they come out and they're like only there for that one match, and then like it's the same thing. Like people could come out of the woodwork just to have a little fun. And then
Roka? You think Roko show
up?
No,
I think it's too soon. It's too soon.
Yeah, it's too soon.
There is a name that a lot of people have been throwing around though, because obviously with Sam back in the league, our happy hour guest Miss Rachel Cushing. I don't think so either. But we know it's not Clark. Yeah. But if there's a time for her to ever show up that would not have implications on stuff going forward, the free for all really is the spot.
She
Like,
just better hope she doesn't win.
That's what people are saying. Like, if she
But
wins,
what does she do if she wins? Like, that's
Yeah,
the
like-
thing, you know?
I don't know, man. I mean, there's gonna be time for us to kind of talk about the free for all stuff like that. But it's gonna be very fun. It's gonna be very interesting. It's definitely one of the more fun events and kind of the big thing that's coming back, like free for all collision spectacular. We get that next month. So, but yeah, I wanted to bring up that title stuff just because there are a couple names out there. Quickly, question for the class here. Outside of Marisol, who would you like to see Samm face?
Dan.
Oh, see.
Because that was the match that we were supposed to get. And then Andrew Guy was like, well, no.
Yeah.
Not happening.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Dan, I feel like would be on everyone's list solely because we know that was supposed to happen and we never got it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Drew. We appreciate you. Thanks.
Yeah.
So I'll
too.
out of these three names to make it easier, because these are the kind of the names that are in the top spot: Merle, Irwin, Collins, and then Marisol. But leaving Marisol,
I actually kind of want to see him play Bateman.
Bateman's got to work his way up.
Yeah.
I know.
And we'll talk.
I'm
we'll
just
talk about
saying.
Bateman.
You
We'll
just,
talk
but
about
you
Bateman.
said like who? I would like to see him
It'd be interesting to see
smack around
Collins.
Bateman.
Collins and Samm play, because like Adam could try to get revenge for him taking the belt from Marisol. Blah blah blah. blah.
Do we? Is Marisol? I knew Adam is a horror fan. If that, I don't know if that rubbed off from being on the same team, or if she's a horror fan. But like every time there was like a horror question, I was like, "Ooh, this is tough."
Oh yeah,
Like
her
the-
5-point question was a
The Michael
Halloween question.
Myers,
Mhm.
or whatever the hell that.
And
one-
I'm not a big Halloween person, but was that question hard? Because it asked for the
No.
subtitle.
It
Okay.
it was the only. Sorry, that because like I saw that question and I was like, really? That's a 5-point question? It was the only Halloween movie with Paul Rudd in it.
There's
And-
a lot of Halloween
I know there's
movies,
like
though.
18 Halloween movies.
Yeah,
so
that's the thing.
that's why I was curious if it was a difficult question. So
And
Well, they said
clearly-
the 6th movie in the franchise, and Paul Rudd, and I don't know. They gave a lot of context for that question that I thought was strange.
And PJ, we get it. You like Tremors. I feel like it's been in every single
We get
single
it, you
match
like
at this point.
Tremors.
PJ is not our favorite person right now because of certain
Yeah,
things
That's-
he said
apparently
yesterday
we're not
on
his
Twitter,
favorite
Mhm.
show anymore.
So, yeah.
You know.
Mhm.
PJ can eat rocks right now.
Mhm.
Going back to my question though about who we could see Samm playing or who you'd want, a couple people are saying Irwin just because Samm was his manager. Irwin,
Yeah.
Mr. Irwin.
Mm,
So
that'd be cool.
I think that's a great option, possibility. Sorry, the dog just ran in the garage.
Hi, dogs.
I was wondering what that squeaking
Puppy.
noise
Yeah,
was.
you can hear their little feet.
Feety feet.
Put him. That's fine. That's fine. Oh, hello, Ray. Hi.
Oh,
Hi, sweet baby Ray.
Hi. All right. Anyway, all right. Before we move on, I wanted to bring back the YouTube poll that I had up here. So, what's the best title match in Schmoedown history? We talked about it a little bit. I left up 3 matches plus others, and I had McKee versus Levine, Damon versus Demolanta, Merle versus Collins 1, and other. And with 41%, people are still going with 51-50 at the moment. Our viewers, anyway.
Really? Because I saw
yeah.
Christian put the poll, and that it was getting slaughtered.
Really?
Yeah, MTS Twitter put out one, and it was like 70-30.
For the
Okay.
Marisol Samm one.
Yeah.
There's also a recency bias, I'm sure, with a lot
Yeah.
of people too. But
people are tired of seeing
Yay.
perfect Star Wars matches. And that's kind of old news now.
I thought you were about to say
Yeah.
people are tired of seeing Alex.
Never. I'm never
No.
too tired to see Alex. I
I'm
miss
tired of
Alex.
seeing him lose.
He came.
Boy, oh boy.
He came in briefly the other night, and I was like, "Alex, okay, bye." Bye, Alex. Okay, bye.
All right, let's wrap back around to the beginning of the pay-per-view and let's talk about the undercard match plus the cutscene because it was kind of a big deal. We have this whole Shazam versus Corruption situation going on. Obviously, Shazam is currently holding the belt, and Corruption wants another shot. And because of the whole Bibbs versus Chance match that we got this weekend, the cutscene was Christian pitching the next match to Shazam as Bibbs, Brennan, and Coy are kind of hanging out. And he just ever so slightly just says, "Oh, you're facing corruption," and walks away. And the boys aren't really having it because they have beaten them twice before, which totally makes sense. They faced them last year at Collision. They got the belts. They took the belts away from them early on as well. So they eventually agreed to it after a little conversation, but Coy puts a little stipulation in there, which is very interesting. Yeah. Very interesting. If they beat corruption once again, which I imagine will probably happen in the next few weeks, corruption has to officially separate. We will not see Chance and Mike play as a team anymore if they lose that match. This is big time because if I'm not mistaken, outside of Shazam, they are the only remaining team left from the Anarchy days. Shazam and Corruption.
Shazam came after Anarchy.
Are you sure?
Yes, because Brendan and Bibbs reunited. Brendan and Bibbs became a thing after Brendan's performance in the free-for-all.
Okay.
Corruption is the only team that is still together from Anarchy.
Okay, so, well, that makes it even crazier. Corruption is the only team left from the Anarchy days, and if they were to break up, I mean, those days are obviously over anyway, but they've been going strong this long. They've had a lot of title shots. They've been playing for a long time together. And to see them not be together would be very strange. Jill, sounds like you have thoughts.
I feel really attacked by all these new changes that are happening on the Corruption faction.
It feels like we're just trying to implode Corruption a little bit.
I mean, they are the 2-time defending faction champs, so why not?
I feel personally attacked. Like first Deception is no more, and now there's a chance that like the team of Corruption is not going to be a thing. Like season 9 just became who are Jill's favorites and how can we knock her down a peg? Because let's see what we can do. And so I'm obviously gonna hope and pray that they win because I do not want them to break up. Because I love them.
Jill? Guess what? They breaking up.
No, they are not. I have a hoodie. They are not breaking up.
They breaking up and they breaking up fast.
Oh my god. Okay, then if that happens, I'm gonna have to add another hashtag to my whiteboard, and it'll be Reunite Deception and Reunite Corruption, because that's gonna be a hot mess up in this household. And
look, I get that. Look, Corruption's always gonna have a chance. Mike and Chance are incredible. Chance, and we'll get to the Chance Bibbs match here in a sec, but Chance has been playing like an A++ player over the last year and a half or so. His game has really stepped up, and this whole like new vibe he's got going on with the chain and everything, very interesting, very interesting. But I don't know if there's a team out there that can beat Shazam. I really don't, because everyone outside of Corruption is a brand new team. Everyone, except for the Wildberries, but like. Wildberries aren't going to get there. So, I mean, I just don't know. I don't know who beats Shazam. I know that I'm a biased opinion.
No, it's a very valid opinion, because in my opinion, Shazam is, I think, pretty much the greatest team of all time, in my opinion. But I don't want to be that guy. But previous to this past spectacular, we've seen how they've performed. So like they can have those games where they get shanked in their Achilles heel, or however you want to phrase it, but we've definitely seen moments where they do have their bad games, so it could happen. They are I will say, and I know they do watch sometimes, that I do think that they are the greatest team of all time, and Christian needs to accept that and love that fact, because they are. But I just don't want to put another team on my board, because I can't have more teams that I like breaking up. I won't allow it. It's not gonna happen. No.
But it could open up some conversations for some new interesting teams.
Yeah.
Well, and a lot of people are pointing out in the chat, if they do lose, you could pair Chance with Marisol.
Mm-hmm.
You've piqued my interest.
And call them Reception.
Reception?
Reception?
Reception? What are they, a cell phone company? Reception.
I almost feel like if Corruption loses, Mike's done with teams.
I do too.
Yeah, I agree. I was gonna say He's probably going to be focusing on IG. Keeping that
singles,
belt.
it's like whatever. Teams, you gotta do a little bit more because your partner is relying on you. So that could be kind of upsetting. Seeing Mike out of a division. I mean, granted, he is in 3 of the 4.
What Christopher said in the chat. No disrespect to Mike, but unlike singles and IG struggles in teams, which really puts a lot of pressure on Chance. True.
All right, let's get to the match itself here. William Bibbiani, Chance Ellison. We kind of sort of got a Bibbs entrance in a way.
Loved it.
Via protest.
Loved it.
Which was, classic Bibbs. Loved seeing it back. But as far as the match goes, incredible match. Bibbs walks away with the victory again. And I didn't know this, and it's been so long, but he has beaten Chance 3 times, and Chance has been close every single time. It's hard to believe, but it's very hard to believe. But Chance is one of the best players we have. He just always seems to hit some kind of wall as he gets like a little higher up the ranks. Obviously, he almost got the belt last year against Marisol. Or was that a number 1 contenders match?
That was a championship match.
That was a championship match, right? Yeah. And it just seems like every time he gets to that peak, he's right there, and then someone just kind of gets in his way. He runs into the beast again. Oh, excuse me, 0-4 against Bibbs across singles and teams. There you go. So that included teams. Okay.
Good job, Bibbs. Good job, Bibbs. Poor Chance.
It's brutal. But Bibbs is Bibbs. Like Bibbs is Bibbs.
Bibbs.
It's the first time we've seen him this year. It's the first time we've seen him both this year. They both looked great. Like I mentioned, Chance is rocking a new wardrobe.
I like it. I dig it. But it's more mature. He's a growing boy. He's looking a lot more mature now. I like it.
But yeah, Bibbs walks away with the victory. Now he's hoping for a number 1 contender shot, but being how this year is set up, I don't think this is the last time we see Chance. He's going to come back very strong. And he'll probably have a pretty high profile match next on whoever he plays us, because wins and losses don't matter as much as they did in the last 2 years. They're going to put up the best against the best. So we're going to see him play someone pretty strong next time. But Bibbs is on his way to a possible title shot if he's winning.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chance definitely has a bit of a tougher road now that he lost to Bibbs. Like the hill significantly got steeper. Oh, for the love of God.
Special guest in the chat. Brother Lomas has appeared. First off, Mega Powers were the greatest team ever. We need a corruption breakup so we can get the Chance Man's team we all want.
Huh.
Interesting.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Like I was saying, I don't know. I forgot. Damn him.
Wow.
Okay. While you think.
Now I remember. Okay. No, Chance has now a much tougher road. The top 10 people, like anyone can beat anyone.
And I think Chance was ranked 6th, if I'm not mistaken.
6th or 7th
going into the match, and now obviously he drops a couple slots.
6th or 7th he came in. I remember.
So his hill just got a little bit steeper. Bibbs, I don't see personally why he's not in the number 1 contender match at this point. I mean, what was he going into it? Wasn't he like 4? Okay. And he beat a 6. I mean, that's pretty high up. Like the 2 would have to beat like the 3 for it to be. I mean, a 2 and a 3 would pretty much be the contender match. So I personally, I don't see a reason why Bibbs isn't the person. Does that mean he's playing Marisol? That would be a hell of a match.
Bibbs versus Marisol.
That would be a very interesting match that now about it, I actually really want.
Hey.
Mm-hmm. See,
even they
pop
think it's a good
idea.
She's barking at pop figures. It almost and Nathan is kind of on board with it here. It sounds like this is possibly what we'll be getting, and the winner will be headed to a number 1 contender match against Marisol.
That makes sense.
That
Yeah.
seems like the route at the moment.
I like
That makes
that.
sense. Yeah, I think.
Who did Ethan just beat? Janine?
Yeah.
Janine, where was she on that ranking thing? Wasn't she like 9? Something like that? Like 9 or 8. She was on it.
Which-
She was in the, I don't remember. But
I can look it up. They put it up on that Schmoedown on Twitter. Hold on.
yeah. I don't know. I just think, I don't know. I need to see the chart, I guess, in order to establish. Because I'm curious to see who Bibbs' like last 2 or 3 people were versus Ethan's last couple, and versus, I mean, Marisol's already sitting there. I mean, I guess it makes sense to have the 2 of them go against each other to play Marisol, but I don't know.
All right, so before the championship match, this was the order. The number 1 contender was Samm. Number 2 was Ethan. Number 3 was Griffey Nooms. 4 Bibbs. 5 Dan. 6 Brendan. 7 Chance. 8 Barbarian. 9 Janine. And 10 was Paul.
Okay, so then, yeah, I guess an Ethan versus Bibbs makes sense to play Marisol, because you have Marisol sitting there. It's not like she has to play someone else to get there. So, yeah.
Is there a possibility we see a triple threat between the 3 of them?
No.
I mean, we don't. Anything
And
can happen.
Bluff No More asked that in the chat, which is why I brought it up.
I mean, is it impossible? Heck no. There's nothing impossible in Titans. That could be if they're that close in the rankings and we want to have a really crazy pay-per-view, like, of course it could be a 3-way. I don't see it. I mean, I could obviously see it not, but I don't see it being an impossible. I don't see it being an impossibility.
Yeah, I agree. All right, real quick here. Tim Sim did drop by and put in the super chat. Thank you so much, Tim. Just dropping by. Hoping everyone had a great weekend. McKee versus Levine is my pick for best match because it's more of the game we are supposed to be in with the buzzers, and they were perfect as well. I mean, it's 2 solid arguments there.
I agree.
So,
can't disagree with the logic behind it.
No.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Drama.
Molly wants the tea. She wants drama.
All right, so outside of any final thoughts on Bibbs and Chance before we move on to the final cutscene?
It was a fun match. I thought it was a really great match to open up the amazing pay-per-view that we had. Like, it was that match where it was like, I don't know what's going to happen. It could literally go either way, and we didn't find out until the very end. So it was a treat. I enjoyed it. Good job, gentlemen.
I will say, I do like, obviously the top 10 are playing. I would like to see a few more matches between the 11 and like 20 range.
Yeah. But for an opening of a pay-per-view though, like
absolutely. But I'm just saying in the sense of like
actual
like
matches.
What Molly's saying, like for the most part, like those are pretty perfect matches.
Yeah.
For a whole thing. Like I completely agree with Molly being like, need a little bit of like back and forth, which there was with Chance and
wait, so you want more of 11 to 20 in pay-per-view events?
I mean,
I don't. I think I want the best of the best playing in pay-per-views, personally.
No, Nathan, I do not want a third JTE match. Thank you.
Because like if you think about it, like in Friday Night Titans so far, we had in teams the Movement versus the Harris Brothers, which they kind of rank in that time frame. We had Plot Twist versus the Ruling Class, which rank in that kind of ranking system.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about teams.
Oh, well, I'm just okay. Well, the Kid is a top 10 player. JT is not a top 10 player. He challenged. Then we had Jen Kemp and Doug Benson, which are lower tier as well.
JT is probably sitting at like 11 though.
I mean, you said 11 to 20.
Okay. I think it should be. I think for pay-per-views, it should either be people in the top 10 or those players who have very, very, very strong, distinct characters.
Yeah.
So like a Wild Berries or a Video Drew, or I know Chundru is in the top 10 of players, but or like those kind of players that have very distinct characters. So it's like you get that entertainment value. That's my opinion on that.
Agreed. All right, final thing of the night that we can talk about is the final cutscene that happened of the event. Nothing too crazy, just a little conversation between one Ben Bateman and one Kate Mulligan of the Den, obviously. Now, Ben is part of that faction. And they have a very vague, mysterious conversation about who he may be challenging next. There's a couple players on the roster. Obviously, Ben is very, very high as far as a player. Interesting enough, though, I didn't realize he's not even in the top 10 according to those rankings, which
That's
is interesting.
crazy.
Didn't even cross my mind.
But he didn't have a great year last year. So
no, he did not at all. Team,
But
Danger Zone. Duh.
But I mean, Paul hasn't had the greatest of seasons recently either. And
Paul did better last year than Bateman did.
Yeah, he won the free for all. So,
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see who he's going to be challenging next. It feels like it might be happening this weekend on Titans. It's kind of feels like it was setting up. I see a lot of people say that he may be challenging Adam Collins because Adam also did not have a great year last year. Even though he is the former champ, he had a very rough sophomore season. Thoughts on this? Thoughts on the scene? Thoughts on the setup? Who we could possibly have been play?
Adam's not in the 10, right?
No.
So it's probably Adam.
I like what Nathan said in the chat. Bateman versus Collins. No way they fly Collins out for just a cutscene. Yeah, take a look and see who else has been in the cutscenes previously, and that may tell you who might show back up. So,
Schmoedown fans are getting a lot smarter. I remember like 3 or 4 years ago when that was happening, people didn't catch on, but now they're like, "Oh, wait a second."
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot more people in the Schmoedown that don't live in California. So when you see someone that is there, you're like, oh, interesting.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I said it. It makes sense that he's not going to fly out there just, hey, bye. Like, no, that's not.
He could have been there for other reasons too, but
they're both probably. Would anyone disagree in like the 11 to 15?
Oh yeah,
100%. And I mean, they're both former champs.
Yeah, they're both champs.
Definitely. So I mean, it makes sense. Why is she crying?
She's just sitting here looking at the bones that are up there on top of the fridge right
now.
Oh, poor baby.
I'm trying to will them down off the.
Yeah, and I wish I could move my camera, but Kylo is just sitting here looking at me like, "Dad."
Hi, Kylo.
Dad. Hi, Bubba.
He's like, it is time for you to go.
You want to come say hi?
And give me a
Hi,
tissue.
Kylo. Oh, hi, Kylo.
Hi, Bear. Hey, he's naked.
Hi.
That's a naked boy.
So what I'm hoping with this, number one, excellent marketing for them to be like, nah, we're gonna announce it on the next show, so you have to tune in. Like, I see what you're doing there. I see you. Good job.
Episodic television.
We love it. We love it. I kind of hope they're playing like a bait and switch. And switch.
A Bateman and
I thought
switch. A Bateman switch.
I know.
That's what I thought she was going for.
They're gonna pull a Bateman switch, and it's gonna be someone just completely out of left field. Like, so that's kind of what I'm hoping for. Like someone who's like, because I know the Schmoedown Twitter tweeted out like, look, these 3 possible people, and one person I'm like. Because I'm kind of getting savvy to how the Schmoedown is happening now. And I'm like, okay, either it is going to be one of these 3 people or y'all are trying to play a big old trick on us. And it's going to be someone not even like it could be a brand new player for all we know. I'm kind of hoping that it's a Bateman switch. I'm going to call it a Bateman. It's easier to say than bait and switch. A Bateman switch.
What if it's someone like King Khan?
Like, that would be so fun. Like, King Khan would be really fun.
I was trying to think of
Paige. What if Paige just shows up?
We could have a volume 2 of them, but I was trying to think of people who may not be on Kate's side or who maybe Kate doesn't like, because she seemed super on board with the idea of challenging. And I'm like, well, maybe she has a vendetta against that person that Bateman is going for. Or she could have just been like the manager, be like, yeah, you should do it. And I couldn't really think of anyone that Kate, I mean, because Kate obviously went heel, and outside of like the Den faction from last year, the only one that came to mind is Preston, but we've seen Preston in the teams match this year. Mm-hmm. So it just feels like it's Collins, but I would love for it to be super random.
Christopher's Cyclone in the chat. Bateman challenges a Star Wars competitor. He had 60 days, guys. He did it.
60 days
He
are
had
finally
his
up.
60 days. He studied.
Jesus.
We're getting a Bateman Star Wars match. Like, could you imagine if that's what ended up happening?
I would fly out just to be in a
Right?
live audience to see that happen.
Same.
My mind would explode if that's. And I'm hoping it's definitely more likely to be those big competitors that we have named, but I'm gonna hope that it's, you know, a Bateman switch and it's some completely random out of left field person that we don't see coming.
Mhm.
I mean, it'd be great. It'd be, we've seen people come back that we haven't seen in a while, so it definitely could be someone. All right. Well, any other thoughts on the pay-per-view event, on Bateman, on Bibbs, any of that stuff before we kind of head out?
What a pay-per-view.
Oh yeah,
I agree.
Just super entertaining stuff. I loved it.
Good job, everyone involved. That was great. No complaints for me from that one. That was
No notes.
No notes. There's no notes. I have no tech.
Molly, your notes was more drama.
More drama.
More drama. That's it. Molly needs a moment where she whoops her fan. That's what she just needs that like once an episode.
Well, see, I didn't really expect drama between Marisol and Samm. You know, they're just like two super top tier players that are pretty level headed. So I just accepted a really, really good match, which is what we got.
I don't want to bring up Brian Ward's comment, but goodness.
I see you, Brian.
Goodness.
You better get out of there before you get thrown into that scuffle that's happening back there.
Can you hear him?
No, we just see like tails fighting each other.
Yes, there it is. There's the fan.
All right, everyone. Well, that's going to wrap up the show for this evening. Covered everything that was the pay-per-view event. We talked Samm Levine and Marisol McKee at the beginning of the episode. If you tuned in late, caught us on the back end. Congratulations again to Samm Levine for once again becoming a singles division Movie Trivia Schmoedown champion. He's currently sitting at a 9-0 run, which is absolutely insane.
Oh my god!
We wait to see who he faces next. Yeah, I mean, everything is fully stocked right now for Friday Night Titans pay-per-views, everything as we head into April. And we're super psyched to see what happens this next month with Schmoedown now that we are fully with 1 month under our belt. Let's do some plugs as we get out of here. Jill, why don't you start us off? Where can everyone find you online?
Jilly Marie, 2 I's, 2 E's on Twitter and Instagram. Pew, pew, pew.
Brian?
I'm not throwing the shade. I just am here for it. We are being fed. That's all I'm saying.
Yes. We love the shade. But you've all seen on Twitter, Hawkflix Movies with Jake. I'm assuming he doesn't know what we're doing tomorrow because he hasn't the last 3 weeks. And then...
I mean, I do. I just don't like to say anything.
Well, gotta tune in.
You gotta tease it so people want to watch, but yeah.
Gotta tune in and find
That's my tease. There you go.
No.
As my dog's fighting.
I know. That's all I'm paying attention to, if I'm being honest.
Oh god. Dogs everywhere.
This is the Sunday night pay-per-view.
Who needs the Oscars when we have this?
Right? Sounds like it's dumb anyways.
Sounds like it's dumb.
And Molly.
Oh my. At Molly Damon on Twitter. Catch me over on Star Wars Explained, talking about Star Wars. We are playing Star Wars. We're still streaming Jedi Fallen Order. We'll be doing that on Tuesday and maybe a different night. 'Cause I don't know. We won't do it Friday again because we're going camping next weekend.
Oh.
Camping.
Oh, can get out in the woods.
Do you bring Hilo for camping?
Yeah, this will be the first time we bring him camping.
Well, are you actually going camping, or is Alex pulling an April Fool's joke on you?
Oh, I hope, because we both bought a lot of camping stuff online today. So that would be a very
Is it
odd.
camping or glamping?
It's more like glamping. I mean, it's car camping.
That's my type of
We're kind of just
camping.
Car camping is the best. It's awesome.
where you can drive your car basically almost right up to the campsite.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just it's just literally like we got to get it out of the house for the weekend and like super out of the house, like sleep outside.
Feel that. All right, you can find me on Twitter at Qui-Gon Jake 2Ns. Someone else took it before I did. Apocalypse Movies each week with Brian. Tomorrow, actually, I'm going to be on Amaru Moses' show, One Gotta Stay, with a whole load of guests that
If you're looking for drama and tea,
I should not. I don't know how I made it on that panel, but my goodness, I made it.
Yeah,
on that
me
panel.
too.
The Star Wars one was crazy.
Yeah, that's gonna be a lot of fun. Also, just a plug for us. Tomorrow's our monthly watch along, everybody. And we are watching Boondock Saints. Is the March movie of the month.
Gimme Norman
so you can join us there. And we're starting back up doing a lot of crazy things for the Patreon. We promise to all of our patrons will be a little bit more on time this month. Well, it all depends on Jill's schedule. It all depends on Jill's schedule, so.
I mean, she's camping. She's in the middle of nowhere. Wi-Fi is probably just horrible in the woods.
It's like a 20-minute drive probably to a McDonald's, so I can go there and use their Wi-Fi if I need to.
I'm in the major phase of craving. Like McDonald's sounds so good right now.
Wait a couple. You'll get over it. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
I believe in you.
Well, on that note, everybody, thank you so much for joining us each week here on the show. Everybody in live chat. We know that everyone was kind of watching the Oscars today, so everybody who watches on the rewatch, thank you to everyone who watches. We appreciate you. Nussbaum, the matches are coming. We promise. We promise.
Didn't we just do?
Well, we did the Patreon stuff, but the live reactions, matches, we are in the process of planning them. So I know we've been saying it for a while, but Nussbaum,
that's me.
We're a reaction channel, and we've had to change a lot of stuff. So we got you. But for now, thank you so much for watching. All the patrons, we love you guys. Catch you guys next time.